She can be in the video.
Hey, I just look over every year on the record. I was on the nurse out here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Maybe this will be part of the video. So, I just recorded a short video. Katie's rolling her eyes at me. Walking the baby and talking about the first month with the baby. And so that's what you're about to see. I guess I don't have anything else to say. This is the baby. This is me. And that is all. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, what?
No, I said wow.
Wow. So this video is capturing 1 month with baby. Today is her 1 month birthday, according to the calendar month at least. And woke up and walked my son up to school while Katie fed the baby, and then came back and tagged off while Katie cleaned up at home, and I took the baby for a little walk. It took her maybe 5 minutes to calm down. She was kind of squawking a bit, and now she's asleep. And I'm just walking down to the river and thought I would try to capture the last 1 month of life with baby. So I'll start with the present. Maybe it's easiest to remember that, and therefore I'll start with that. So I'm sick. I've got this cold. You can hear it probably in my voice. And it has been a 2.5 week slog of almost nothing but illness, it feels like. So I'm still sick. Katie is sick with the same cold. And about 5 to 7 days ago, so about a week before now, we thought we were getting better. Our son had had a stomach bug. We had got the stomach bug. And then I started feeling sick. Had a sore throat and a lot of earache, and went to CVS Minute Clinic and found out I had an ear infection. And then I haven't really started feeling better until today, with some ups and downs in between. Then Katie, 2 days ago, started feeling sick too. So rewind time a little bit further before that. Jonah got a stomach bug about 2 weeks ago, and it just wouldn't end. It was constant throwing up. And we were trying to keep him away from the baby. So for the first 2 days especially, it was just me and Jonah and throw up. That was it. Just him throwing up, me holding him, Katie doing everything with baby. She said it was like baby boot camp for her. Just nonstop, her and baby, nonstop, me and throw up. And then about 3 days after that, Jonah was feeling better, we thought, and then Katie and I got it, the same thing. So we were throwing up, trying to pass the baby back and forth in between the throw up, trying to sleep. It was chaos. It was total chaos, and it was terrible. And so we thought Jonah was better at least. All right, he's good to go. Then he got sick again and threw up. So then it just created this cycle of like isolation. We couldn't really get help from friends or ask for help from family because we felt like we were really contagious. We were not getting good sleep. We were not happy. We got sick, and then Jonah again, a second and third time after he recovered from the first 2 days, he got sick and threw up. And so each time he threw up, we kept him away from people for at least 24 hours, usually 36 or 48 hours before being like inside with other kids. So this kind of made the whole week that he was sick felt like just chaos, and then that rolled right into us getting these head colds or whatever. And so here we are. But before those 2 weeks, it was just a joyous, happy time. Parents were in town for the first 7 to 10 days or so, and everything was so new and exciting. It was just a happy, easy time. And there were some days where I felt like I was extremely happy to be on parental leave home with baby and with Katie. Very happy and feeling helpful but also feeling like, wow, this is indulgent. What am I going to do with myself all day? So I started reading a lot of books. I kept the house really clean. I kept up with work, emails, and trying to keep up with smaller tasks. And that felt like that was going to be the pattern for the 6 weeks of leave that I had until we got sick. And then that all felt like it just went out the window the last 2.5 weeks, where it's just been, it feels like, it's probably too strong to say it, but it feels like it's been just survival mode. So that's the last month. But what about the baby? I haven't talked about the baby much. So she's been doing a good job. She just went, she, like it seemed to be the case when she first came out, she seems to know what to do and what to ask for. She's good at saying when she's hungry. She's, there's someone taking, looks like photographs of birds over here. Cool. She can yell when she needs to get our attention, but she's pretty soothable for the most part, including at night. So with a little bit of walking, especially, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, she'll calm down. She smiles at us occasionally, but we're still waiting on more of what I think Katie called social smiling. So that's coming up, I think. Our main activity has been walking, lots and lots and lots of walking. So we'll come down here by the river and we'll just walk like this fast for hours. And then I'll come back and I'll hand off the baby to Katie and she'll feed a little bit and then she'll go walk. And we'll basically do this all day. And sometimes we'll put her down in like a little bassinet thing and she'll sleep there. And we can do some work together around the house or eat lunch or something like that. But we found out early on that the walking really calms her, and it also is something we enjoy. It's a lot more fun than sitting there on the couch trying to stick a pacifier in her mouth or trying to play loud white noise or something. So this has been it. The weather's been really good. So amidst the illness even, we've tried to keep up the walking, and that's been really good. Sleep has been, I would say, okay. There's some nights that are really bad. I think Katie described it as like each week there's one night that's just a disaster. Seems like the baby never really falls asleep. 1 to 2 nights that are really good. Baby has 1 or 2 wake ups and otherwise is pretty quiet, falls right back asleep. And then the rest of the nights are kind of in between, where she'll kind of squawk for a while after she feeds. She can kind of calm down, but maybe only sleeps for an hour and then wakes up, and then you have to kind of calm her again. It's kind of an average night, maybe. Sleeps for like 3 hours, feeds, wakes up for feeding, obviously, is awake for feeding, and then falls back asleep, but not super deeply. Wakes up again, needs to be kind of held or something. Doesn't really cry, but just kind of makes a bunch of noise, kind of squawking and grunting. Feeds again, and then maybe falls back asleep, and then maybe falls back asleep until like we wake up at 6:30 or 7, or maybe goes through another cycle of kind of squawking and needing to be held. So definitely hard to get some deep sleep. What else? Brother and baby has been sweet. He holds her even when she cries. He doesn't complain. Here's the photographer. Wonder what she's shooting. So that's cool. He never complains. He did make a joke the other day where I said something like, wouldn't it be funny or wouldn't it be interesting if babies had like a switch where you could just turn them off for a little bit? Kind of a dark joke, I guess. But he really took that and heightened the darkness, made it even darker. He goes, yeah, if baby was a robot and you could like play with the robot, and then you could like, okay, I want to say first before I say this, like he has been super sweet with baby. Nothing but, not a single remark about like wanting the baby to go back or wanting more attention. He has been a great big brother. But somehow when we started talking about this robot, maybe that's where it all came out. And he goes, yeah, and if the baby was a robot, it like wouldn't be a real baby, and you could like throw it off of things and it would like smash. And we were like, oh gosh, Jonah, never mind about that whole switch thing on the baby. So brother's been good. So what's it like walking with her? It's kind of like this. She just kind of finds a spot that's comfortable for her head, and she just relaxes. And then maybe after an hour she'll wake up and move around a little bit, and then kind of reposition herself and then fall back asleep. Sometimes we'll walk up hills, and the different position kind of makes her wake up a little bit. Sometimes I pat her a little bit like this, and she kind of wakes up a little bit. Yeah, that's about it. Ooh, big wake up, or big move. One thing I've noticed while carrying her is that it makes my stomach feel weird. I think she's like sitting right on my stomach, and it makes me feel like I ate something that upset my stomach a little bit after I've walked with her for a while. It always goes away after I take off the carrier, but just kind of a funny observation. So one thing I'd planned in those first 2 blissful weeks is what I dubbed the Babython, a walking marathon with baby over the course of one day. I think this gives some insight into what my mindset was like these first 2 weeks. Everything was easy, joyous. I felt like I could go adventure with baby. She could do anything. And I still want to do the Babython, but the illness of the last 2.5 weeks really curtailed that training and planning, so it's still coming up next. So maybe that's a good place to end on the Babython, and that's coming up next, and mentioning that'll be the next video. So look out for that, maybe coming up in the next month, between months 1 and 2 with baby. I think my goal for the next month, it's a simple one, but it's to be healthy. I don't care about the sleep. I just want baby, Katie, and me and Jonah to be healthy, and or to try to move toward being healthy, and or at least over the long term to be healthy and to be able to get through these bumps in one piece. And that's all for now. I guess to sum up the first month, that's been a whirlwind. I have a colleague who, when he heard that I was having a baby, said, "Get ready for the blur." And I thought, nah, man, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be a blur. We got this. We got a routine. We'll be good. And the first 2 weeks bore that out. It was not a blur at all. It was easy peasy. And then it's definitely been a blur the last 2 weeks of just blur. It's been a blur. We're in it. Maybe that's the theme, is we're in it. But I'll end on that.